What's up guys, Mr. Basie here, and today I'm going to bring you a commentary that generally discusses what I actually don't like about Halo 5 Guardians, because I've been giving it a lot of praise, and I just think for constructive criticism I should kind of talk about some of the things I don't like, and they're kind of minor, and they're things that I'm sure will be addressed during the beta, or during the development of the actual game. But before I actually start on that, I want to say, for those of you that are missing my other videos, my Let's Plays, I will be starting to do those again. This week was purely Halo 5 Guardians because I wanted to get that content out there. As of now, I'll be moving back to the scheduled and the regular upload schedule of 1 FPS 1 Let's Play. If you guys haven't seen my Let's Plays, maybe take the chance to diversify yourself with my channel. Go check out some of that other stuff. You might like it. I have a particularly Evil Within Let's Play that's going up in just a little bit. That's pretty ridiculous. It's actually quite insane, and you'll know when that's going up because it's going to be titled something insane like the most badass episode ever. But moving on with the topic at hand, in terms of Halo 5 Guardians, I did want to discuss some of the things I didn't like about it. And the first thing that I think annoys me the most, it has nothing to do with the gameplay actually, and I know this will get fixed, or at least I'm hoping it's going to get fixed because it's such a small thing, but it's such an annoying thing. I'm sure many of you guys have been through it. Is essentially when somebody backs out of a lobby when you're matchmaking. As soon as you go in there, if you find players, if one person backs out, you cannot back out. Like, the B option to back out completely goes away. You have to absolutely 100% restart your game. And I know that this has nothing to do with the gameplay, and honestly, it's not even worth putting in here, but that really annoys me. I want to say something more aggressive there, but it really, really annoys me. So we're going to move on to something a little more positive. Now, I'm not sure, as I said in one of my previous commentaries, that I don't just play console. I play PC. Like I said, I do my Let's Plays. I even play some FPS on there. I play Counter-Strike on my PC. So there's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of intermingling of different platforms, and a mouse feels a lot different than a controller, and this usually wasn't a problem for me back in the day, but ever since I kind of got into PC gaming, it's kind of been a problem. So I'm not sure whether it's me or if it's the game, because it feels like the BR, only the BR really, the DMR and everything else is pretty fine. The BR feels a little bit like it's like loose. It's the best way I can describe it. It feels almost like there's not as much auto aim on that gun than there is on other guns, like the light rifle, which is actually featured in this. You'll actually probably see it in this commentary because it'll definitely be going over this gameplay. But the light rifle is actually something that is, featured in this game, and I actually really like it. I like the innovations they did to it, and I'll include that at the end, what I actually like about the light rifle and the new additions and things like that, because it'll probably be more talked about in depth in another video. But it just feels like the battle rifle has I guess the best way to describe it, the best way for it to make sense for you guys, is a lack of auto aim. I would assume is the best way to say it. Because it just feels really loose. It feels like there's not much going on there, especially long range or mid range, and it's quite annoying. The way that I tackled this problem is essentially I play on 3 sensitivity. I lowered it to 2, and it's been helping a little bit. But again, it could be the fact, and I thought this play was disgusting because I was like, "How'd you let that happen, bro? It's crazy." But it helped a little bit. And I think what it really is, I think a large part of it is the fact that I'm just, I have to get used to using a controller again because I don't consistently play console like I used to in the old days. I kind of go back and forth, and I think that's messing me up a little bit, especially because I've been more recently playing PC up until the beta came out, so I really wasn't even playing console until this came out. So it's a little strange for me, but I don't think that's 100% the problem. It does feel a teeny bit weird. But aside from that, guys, I have to say the thrust. Oh, and this jump, guys, I'm definitely gonna make a video on jump spots because I have my old clips for the other spots and for these, and it's just ridiculous. I've got so many jump spots to show you guys. You'll see a lot of them in this video. But in terms of essentially the overall game and the things that are utilized in the game, like thrust. The thrust, I didn't want to say much on this because they, at 343 right off the bat said that thrust is probably going to be the first thing that everyone wants nerfed. And I don't think it should be like 100% nerfed. I don't really have a problem with thrust. It's this instance right here. The guy was running at with me at the sword. And he could, I don't know if he used his thrust or what, but he could have thrusted at me and just destroyed me. And I know that that is something that's, it's understandable. That's what thrust is. In evade or thrust in Halo 4 would have done the same thing. But everybody has it now. It's not something that can be taken off. It's something that you have to play with. So maybe tune it down a bit, because in some instances, especially because they took out the, you get slowed down when you shot, or you get slowed down when you're shot, rather than, or they replace that with you not being able to regenerate your shield. So essentially, people that use swords can utilize the thrust and their, pretty much unhindered movement to extreme advantages. You actually saw that in the earlier part of this video with when I was using the sword against those people. I think a large part of the fact that I got that was because of thrust and unhindered movement when I'm getting shot. And you know what, while we're on that, I really, and that's the one thing I wanted to say, that's the one thing that I noticed was a big flaw with thrust, and because, in battle, I don't really notice it that much. It helps you dodge punches, it helps you dodge bullets. I mean, thrust is thrust, it's utilized the way it's utilized, and I think that it's pretty good, but I think it should be tuned down just a teeny bit, and I don't think it's as drastic as 343 would have initially thought. But that's another thing I want to jump into here, guys, is, it's a good segue into the next topic, which is essentially, I don't like that you don't get your shields back when you run. Now, I know this is a new feature, and I understand their purpose. I understand that they were trying to discourage running away, but historically, throughout Halo, let me just kind of take you through the past here if you guys haven't played Halo before. People that chased were regarded as not really inferior to the game, but people that just that didn't know how to, they essentially they were tunnel visioned. That's the best way you can describe it. And what I mean by that is they don't care about the team. They don't care about, well, for the most part, this is generally speaking, they're not concerned with, playing the map, getting map control, maintaining map control. All they care about is that particular kill in that moment in time. And historically, chasing has been punished. It's been punishable for being stupid enough to chase. Now, chasing, which is generally a very noobish kind of thing, and doesn't really benefit anyone but yourself, is being rewarded. And I just can't help but think that that's a wrong move. Throughout all the other Halos, you used to hear things like, when some kid chased you, or when somebody was chasing another player, they would be like, well, that's what you get for chasing. You know what I mean? Or that, great job chasing, kid. And that's essentially what would happen. That's essentially the mindset everybody had. And, in higher competitive play, when, this game is obviously going to have some sort of competitiveness. The esports league started up with Halo 2 anniversary and all that, but, it's probably going to carry into this game. And in higher level competitive play, you might not see chasing as much, but you probably will see it more often than not because of the fact that they know, you're not going to get your shields back. So they're 100% confident that they can chase you. And the only way that you can really kind of tackle this problem is with a nade off of a wall or something like that. And that takes time. A nade off of a wall, to look at the wall, nade it, that takes time that, in actuality, because you're not getting your shields back at all, the person could just come around the corner, pop you, take the nade damage, and if there's no one else around, get away, unscathed. So I personally don't think it's a very good implementation. I really don't feel like it's going to be taken out, which is a real shame, because out of everything, guys, out of everything that I've played with in this game, the thing that I noticed that is probably the most annoying, the most broken, and things like that, is the fact that when you are running, you cannot regain your shields, and I think that's a huge mistake. And actually, guys, there's essentially a line above the shield, and you can see it when you have red shields, and it's going to start going down when it's telling you your shields are ready to recharge. Now, the thing about this is that the shields actually will reset. They will reset, or that little bar will reset if you even run a little bit. It could be almost all the way at the bottom, and if you run a little bit, it'll be maxed out again, and you'll have to wait even longer to initiate, your shield recharge. I think if they're going to do anything at all, I really think they should reverse it and just change it back to, you get slowed down when you got shot, because that, that worked a little bit better. It really did, especially if you were going to implement sprint. I think that worked fine. Now that I'm experiencing this, I would rather have that. But what they should do is they should only have it go down while you're running. Okay, they shouldn't reset it. If you're halfway down and you start running, you should remain halfway, and then as soon as you're done running, it should start again. And that's the way I think it should be. I don't really think it should be something where it resets, because that's very unbalanced. I mean, there's so many things wrong with that. Starting with the fact that, if you need to make a very small maneuver for just a moment of time, I don't think you should be wholeheartedly punished for making that small maneuver, for trying to stay alive for your team, for trying to stay alive for your own benefit, because that is a huge, huge punishment for even trying to evade things. You might as well just let yourself die. You might as well not even run from engagements. You might as well just fight to the death, really. Just don't even worry about anything, no teamwork, no nothing. It really just discourages that. You really have to have Class A teamwork, which, not everybody has, so it's going to be difficult for some people. Not everyone has that Class A or Grade A teamwork, so, they're going to struggle. You need to have some very, very good teamwork, if not pro level, very close to it, to be able to hold down a teammate's position completely, stop focusing on what you're doing and help a teammate stay alive. It's just a very imbalanced thing. So I think out of everything, guys, everything that I mentioned so far, that is the total, or wow, I said that really weird. The totality of what I think should be changed. That is the biggest thing. Some little small things to wrap up the video that really don't need much explaining. I think grenades do a teeny bit, or they don't do too much damage, I should say. They have a little bit too much range. I find myself being, thrusting out of the way and taking a considerable amount of damage. Like, I'll thrust way across a hallway or something like that, and I take like half or even 3/4 of my shield are gone. So that's a little weird. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but, grenades generally, I don't remember them being, ridiculously powerful, except in Halo Reach. I believe in the very beginning, before they got a slight nerf, or maybe they never did, I don't even remember, but I know that in Halo Reach, explosives, grenades, rocket launchers, things like that were just super, super powerful, and, really, really annoying to play with. So I don't want to kind of go back to that. I think that the Halo 4 nades were pretty good. I think Halo 3 nades were pretty good. They should kind of tweak it a little bit so that you find a good balance. It's kind of a little bit overkill right now. And lastly, I think it's just about the way that the servers are. The servers are still very good. When I get into matches, I get into them quick, but I noticed that a lot of people are backing out. I don't know why that is. I don't know whether they're losing connection. More recently, in this particular week, week 2 with BR starts, I noticed that it said that there were connection issues and it was kicking me offline. But again, this is the beta, and that's why I left those for last, because it's very minimal. And you know what, guys? I'm going to leave that light rifle topic for a different video, because I want to talk about these new maps. I want to talk about what I like about them and how I feel about them, because I did make some comments about variational maps and things like that, and why I think 343 shouldn't use them as excuses to not make new maps. But I'm going to give my 2 cents on that in another video. But as of right now, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please, if you could rate the video what you think it deserved, that would greatly be appreciated. Just let me know, what you thought of this, if you enjoyed the commentary, or whether this helped you out or gave you some different viewpoints. And why don't you drop your opinions in the comments as well? I'd like to hear, as usual, I'd like to hear everyone's opinions on this, stir some discussion. It would really be pretty cool to see everyone else's ideas. But either way, guys, subscribe if you'd like to become a Sage in training. And as always, it's been Mr. Bazy, your favorite Sage, and I'll see you guys in the next video.